the successful traders trio, okay? It's a concept. I didn't make it up, but I did coin that name, the successful traders trio, because at a fundamental level, it takes three things to be successful in trading. It takes your edge, which is your strategy. It takes risk management, money management, right? Big win, small loss kind of thing. And it takes the psychological skills to implement the previous two. It's sort of like a tripod. You cannot have two out of the three. It won't work. Two out of the three, if you put a camera on a tripod and you take one of the legs away, it's going to fall over. So you have to have all three. Now, when we talk about psychology at the very, very basic fundamental level to be successful in trading, you need the psychological skills to implement the first two. And that's the very baseline level. But psychology actually gets very, very deep. I mean, we could go for hours. I could probably write more than one book just on psychology, right? Subconscious, mind, all that kind of stuff. And it was interesting, some of the ideas in psychocybernetics that sort of brought me back to, you know, not just my life, but my career as a trader. And so what I started thinking about was how much goes against you in this world. Okay. And that was the thought process behind what I'm about to say next. Okay. So this was just me drawing from my experience at like 16, 17, all the way till now. Okay. So and again, there's no like editing or anything. I just went right into it and just started typing. And this is what I typed. I said, I don't think people realize how many things they have going against them and very little going with them or for them. You're fighting against negative self-imagery, trauma, negative experiences, negative emotions. And for traders, all of that plus retail methodology, meaning most people get indoctrinated with, you know, RSIs and trends and trend lines and, you know, stuff like that, support and resistance, yada, yada. So you're fighting all that plus a very flawed trading logic. So you're weak in the psychological aspect. You're weak in the edge aspect of trading. So you're already, out of those three legs of the successful traders trio, you're weak in two of those areas right off the rip. And so if you don't manage risk, now you're totally done. And I think that's why most people do not make it in trading, because they can't push past all of those. Meaning your psychology side, the risk management side, and the strategy side, all three. And you can't just focus on one or two, right? That's why it's so difficult for people to become winners. Moving on, I said, you have to fix all of that, build new experiences, new successes, new ways of analyzing markets, like smart money concepts, for example, all the while people are not supporting you. And to take it further, some people would even make fun of you. You know, they ask, oh, how's that trading thing going? How much money have you made? All that. Are you funded yet? Yada, yada. And you might get discouraged because your results aren't up to par yet, because you're still new. You're still a beginner. You don't have the experience. Even 1 or 2 years, you're still a baby to me. Even 3 years, you could still be a baby in trading. Okay. Moving on. Thinking about my self-image. You guys know me as John Phibb. You know me as, you know, an educator, a trader, obviously. You know me, you know, over the last couple of years or so, but you did not know me when I was 16, 17, or 20, 21, right? And in those years, that's why I wrote this. I said, some of you admire my trading and my analysis. Look what I did with all the trades this week. Look what I did on Sunday. I gave you the Dow 50 or 43,005. We're at 43,070s. And I think I give you 5830 for ES. We're at 5850s. That's 2 for 2, right? And I know some of you admire that. But I didn't get here overnight, okay? You were not there when I was being cheated on, or getting kicked out of class, or being targeted by principals and assistant principals, being treated like a failure. A lot of people, your friends, teachers, whatnot, they lose respect for you like really easily, especially when they know that your girlfriend is a slut. Okay. What do you want me to do, bro? That's how it is. Okay. So then they're like, oh, like this guy's dating a slut. Like, what a fucking retard. Well, probably. And then in the Navy, right, you were not there when I was under a leadership of people that were sexist and racist. I've experienced racism, bro. I've experienced sexism too. And one dude was racist and sexist, and he didn't like fat people. I'm like, well, who do you like then, bro? You know what I mean? And that guy was a piece of shit. I wrote about him in my book too. But anyway, fuck that guy. When people hated me for being white, and yes, it's true, people also hated me for having money as well, because in the military is not known for making people rich, okay? Especially like the lower level sailors or anyone in the military, okay? You really don't make a lot of money. But, I'm sitting here on my phone, I'm trading, I got investments and stuff. Like I'm not broke, you know what I mean? But people didn't like that. So it wasn't easy being an outlier. It wasn't easy being different in some of those aspects from everybody else. So you have to overcome decades of experiences that have impacted your way of thinking. I continue on, and I said, in hindsight, I could see why they didn't like somebody like me. Content, nonchalant, not struggling financially. And I know I got a little egotistical here, but I'm just being as truthful as I can be. In hindsight, I realized that these people don't like me because I'm everything that they aren't. I'm everything that they want to be. A risk taker, right? Having money, not worrying about how much stuff costs all the time. I'm what they want to be. And the problem is they don't have the mental ability or the mental capacity to look in the mirror and admit failure. So they take it out on others. And again, I got a little egotistical here, but again, I said, well, that's why I wake up and I do what I want, and they still clock in. They still put on a uniform, or they still go to a high school and, bitch at young kids and all that shit because they're fucking miserable. Probably only got like 6 figures in a 401k, can't retire. And now you're sitting here, just teaching kids that are on their phone and being stupid. That's what you deserve, stupid bitch. Anyway, I go on to say, sure, sometimes I'm a bit egotistical. I never said I was perfect. But it's far better to be confident with yourself and confident in your ability than to be closer to the poverty mindset or the victim mentality. That's horrible. I said the devil is a lie. And that I overcame a lot of things. I haven't overcame everything. Obviously I'm not perfect. I cuss a lot. I'm a little bit egotistical sometimes. And trust me, you're going to fight that too when you get entries like me. You buy the low of the day. You buy the low of the day and tell me you don't fucking feel good about it. Oh man, I feel nothing when I trade. You're a fucking lie. You're a fucking lie. When you take a good trade, I know you feel good. When you take a bad trade, I know you feel bad. Fucking lie to me. Idiot. Anyway. I overcame a lot of things. I haven't overcame everything though. You have to do some self-examination, some self-reflection. Find out what's wrong. Build a plan to fix it or to fix them, multiple problems, and then act on it. This is your life. You only get one. Take care of it. then I didn't say anything after that because I didn't know what to follow that up with. So again, to wrap this up, trading is not just understanding concepts, understanding to keep the risk, small, or to learn how to pyramid and all that kind of stuff. There's so much more to it than that. You might be going break even so fast because you don't want to take a loss, and you don't want to take a loss because you don't want to, experience that pain of taking a loss, or you might think, oh, I'm a failure if I take a losing trade. It's like, bro, that's not the case at all. And that's one reason why I love Mark Douglas. And he talks about that. The trade, not the trade by trade perspective, but the series of trades perspective. It's not about one or two trades. It's about like 20 or 30 trades, 40, 50 trades, 1,000 trades. It's not about one combine or trying to pass, one combine. Try to get all 5 of them. Stop trying to get funded in one fucking trade. Stop trying to do that. Well, you can't do that anyway because there's a 50% consistency rule with Top Step, but you get what I'm saying, though. You're trying to take on too much. You're trying to accomplish too much. And you're trying to do it in a way that's not healthy. You think I got funded in 2 or 3 trades? No. No. So the stuff gets really deep, man. And if you have a negative self-image, or what is it called? I'm trying to think of the word. I can't think of the word, chat. Self-esteem. There we go. If you have like a low self-esteem, you need to get some wins under your belt. You need to get some wins under your belt. And that's just not winning. I'm not talking about just trading. I'm talking about stuff like in life. If you want to lose weight, then lose weight. If you want to, be more healthier, then be more healthier. Level up in the small areas. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If you're too big for the little things, then you'll be too little for the big things. You get me? Trading is not a little thing. Trading is huge. And to think that you're going to just neglect all the small things in life, you're going to go into trading and you're going to get your fucking ass kicked. Oh, I don't need to add on. I don't need to reduce risk. I don't need to, respect risk management. I don't need to do this and do that. Okay. All right. Whatever you say. But your results are how they are. And if they're not where they want to be, you need to figure out what you're doing wrong. I have done literally everything in my power to help you guys out. I give you the books to read, which you should be reading Meditations right now because it's October. And at about 9 pages a day or 8 pages a day, you should roughly be on page 80 or 90. And if you're not on page 80 or 90 or further than that, you're behind. Which is probably most of you. I hate to admit, but it's probably most of you. Haven't bought Meditations yet. All right. Well, Epictetus said, how long are you going to wait to demand the best for yourself? How long? How long are you going to wait before you say, you know what? I need to buckle down and get some shit done. Look at my entries, dude. Some of them are kind of ass sometimes, sure. But the best ones are like, hot damn. I've never taken a trade like that. I wish I could take trades like that. That was me too. And then I had to figure all this shit out. So how long are you going to wait before you say, no, I'm going to start taking this seriously? Take it fucking seriously. Negative works best for me. Oh shit. That's interesting. That's very interesting. That more than likely has worse effects longer term, but I'm not gonna, I'm not a clinical psychologist or nothing like that. So don't let me, tell you otherwise, but I find that very interesting. You this was in psycho-cybernetics, and I know I've talked about this before too, but you draw on your previous experiences. So if you took a lot of losses, if you blew a lot of accounts or blew a lot of combines or funded challenges or whatever, and you think to yourself like, oh, I'm a failed trader or I suck at this or whatever, if you keep focusing on negative results, then you're going to keep getting negative results. You're just going to be drawn towards it. You have to change your habits. You have to change the way you think about yourself. And you have to change the way you think about trading as well. And if you don't do it, you're just going to keep getting the same results, right? What's the definition of insanity, chat? Doing the same things over and over again, expecting a different result. You wonder why you can't pass a combine or a funded challenge, but you keep doing the same shit. Explain that logic to me. Well, I keep doing this, but it's not working. Then why are you still doing it? Makes no sense. So, again, like I said earlier, I've done everything I can. I've given you the books to read. I've given you the concepts to study. Hell, I've given you price levels in advance. I do it every week. Every week. I give you, I think it could go here, it could go there. I'm either right or wrong. I'm not always right. It doesn't always hit. Not always. But earlier in this stream, I told you I'm expecting expansion. I think we could trade higher. I think we could make a new high of day. And on a very, very small level, it's trading higher. Right? I mean, fucking left behind lows, but, you know, it's still seeing some sort of expansion in the short term. But look at levels I outlined on Sunday. They smacked. And all during the week, I gave you things in the Discord. Are you still watching gold? You neglected it. I got no reactions, no responses. And then it hit that gap and rallied. You had an opportunity to trade gold. You had an opportunity to make money. You had an opportunity to pass a combine, but you didn't fucking pay attention. But I still do it. I still do it, chat. I cannot do anything more. Literally. The only thing I can do more than what I already do is if I log into your account and press the fucking button for you, which I'm not going to do. I can't do that. But out of like 100 things that you need, I damn near gave you fucking 95 of them. I have done more than meet you halfway. I'm like on your doorstep, knocking on the door saying, come on, the fuck are you doing? So you have to really take a look in the mirror, chat. And really ask yourself, am I really dedicated to this? Am I really trying to learn this shit? Or am I just going to keep, trying to wait for the next market review or the next video or the next fuck around and find out strategy on YouTube? What are you going to do? Learning to forgive myself has been my whole adult life journey. Even attempting to be a trader would have been disastrous for me even 3 years ago. Yeah, that's good. To forgive yourself for the things that you did in the past, all the dumb shit. I've done dumb shit too, bro. Like, trust me, I've done dumb shit. Okay? I have said some things to people that you would not, you would lose. I've said this time and time again. You would probably lose respect for me if you found out what I've told some people, racial slurs and whatnot. I was young. I was like 18, 19. But, I'm not perfect either. But you go through your trading career and you're either going to learn from your mistakes or you're going to keep making them. Or, you're going to want to give up. See? Look at Dow, bro. Did we short that imbalance? No. Did we say we could come up and make a new high of day? Yeah, we did say that, didn't we? And it's at a new high of day, isn't it? Yeah. I don't control these markets. I don't, call up Jerome Powell or call up whoever the fuck and say, yeah, pump it. I don't do any of that. Okay. But I'm still, as much as it looks like it, it's only because I have a lot of experience. I've cut my teeth a lot and I had to learn from it, or you keep making the same mistakes. So with that being said, I think we'll close it here. I pretty much told you everything I wanted to tell you. It's not just the concepts, okay? It's, let's come back real quick. Go back to the Discord, right? And look at what Cameron said. I think it was Cameron or someone else. But what did they say? Man, I got so much more confidence this week. I have so much more confidence pressing buttons now than I did. I don't remember what the rest of the quote was. But, that's what it's about. Learning, getting the confidence to press buttons. I love pressing buttons. But I also know what it's like to be in front of the chart and to press buttons and then be nervous. What if I'm wrong? What if it goes to my stop loss? Man, what if I fucking lose this combine? What if I lose this trade? Man, what if all that dumb shit. But now I come in here and I'm like, I know what I'm looking for. I know exactly where to enter. I know exactly where to place my stop. Sometimes I move my stop a little bit before I should, but I'm not perfect. But I know exactly what target I'm looking for. I know the models. I know multiple models. I know how to add to winning positions. I know how to flip my bias and go a different direction if I'm offside. But it's not about me. Oh, look what I can do. I'm John Phibb. I'm a badass. It's not about that. I want you to be able to do those same things. But it's hard. It's not easy. Okay? And I'm like really trying to see if we can get these highs real quick before the end of the stream. That would be a great way to end it. It's just slow. It's already 1:15 as well. So we'll give it like another couple minutes or so just to see if we can spike up and into that. But in closing, for like the fourth time, you got to study. You got to learn from your mistakes or keep making them. And you don't have to tell anybody, your journal. Okay. Let me show you. I have many of these. Your journal, okay, is not for anybody else except for you. Okay. So you can be honest with it. You can be in there and say whatever you want to say. Oh man, I struggled today with execution. I struggled with management. I was nervous. I didn't know how to manage the trade. I got break even and now I'm fucking mad about it. And put those things in there, but learn from that experience. And then eventually over time, you start getting better and better and better. And I'm not saying that you got to be somebody like me. You don't have to start a mentorship. You don't have to start a YouTube channel and start teaching other people. You don't have to do that. I only do this because that's what people wanted. They saw what I did and they were like, fuck, John. Teach me how to do it. I said, okay, fine. I guess. Right? That's the only reason I'm out here. If people weren't interested in what I was doing, I would just be in here by myself. Wouldn't have a DSLR camera. I have two of them actually. But I wouldn't have gone and spent $500 on a camera just to be able to talk to you. Wouldn't have a YouTube channel or anything. I would just be in here silent. Well, I had music on, but you get what I'm saying. We would not be here. I wouldn't have started this community. But I started this community because of the same reasons I just told you. People want to learn how to trade, but what I talked about earlier, there's a lot of things that are set up against you. How many of your friends trade? How many of your family members trade? For those of you that have jobs, how many of your managers or your bosses, do they trade too? The chances are they probably don't. So what support system do you have besides yourself? You have a community here. I'll support you. Bro, I stream for free. What more do you need? I'm up here giving you guys all this stuff for free. The Market Maker Masterclass, that was free. I live stream 4 hours a week. That's like, what, 16 hours or almost 20 hours a month for free? Look at the chat. None, says Toby. None, says AML. Not one, says Capitalist. Allison said they dropped the ball and no longer trade. MJ says none. Right. There's no support system. But this community is a support system. Right? 72. Ah, look at that. Look at that. There's your first target. Live price, bitch boy. Live price. Call it. Or don't be a mentor. Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. All right. I'm going to leave it at that. Okay. I think I talked a lot today. We at least hit one target on the stream with live price beforehand. You know? Where's everybody else at? Where's the mentors calling out live price beforehand? Where are they? I'm out here. I'm out here.